I'm Jeff Schwartz of Schwartz Performance. This is our June 2017 update. We've got a lot of chassis activity going on, knocking them out as quick as we can. This one here is a Tri-5 Chevy, 55 Chevy in particular. This has a transparent copper powder coat on it. Looks fabulous. Can't wait to see this one all together. Over here we've also got Dan Howe's 48 Willys pickup that him and his daughter are building. And that one's all powder coated, ready to go. We'll be popping the body on there and he'll be picking it up one of these days. We talked in a previous update about how fat tires never go out of style. Well, the Nova we were mini tubbing in that video is now done. Here it is, and looks fabulous with these Continental 295 35 18s on here, and the American Racing polished torque thrust. Should be a fun car to drive, and it looks great. Got a nice stance and good deal. This 66 GTO is coming along. We've got the tri-power fuel injection mounted up and plumbed. We've got all the throttle linkage on there. Brake lines and master cylinder and so forth are on here. We even have added cruise control to this thing. We can do a lot of modern features on these old cars, cruise control being one of them. Also ABS brakes, Bluetooth, and etc. We've got an aluminum radiator that's going to go in here, and should run real cool with that. And we've begun laying out the wiring inside the interior, so moving along pretty good. We still have to fabricate the base for the air cleaner to make it functional ram air. This is another CUDA chassis installation we're working on. This one's getting a monster Keith Black Hemi with a ProCharger. Going to be somewhere 16 to 1800 horsepower. Should be a real beast. We're fitting the chassis, and we're going to mock up the engine and supercharger and the transmission, and then the owner's going to take it home and finish it up. Wow, this is a cool Nomad. Actually, it's not. It's a 1956 Pontiac Safari wagon. In addition to the Nomads that Chevy had that was a two-door wagon, Pontiac had a wagon called the Safari wagon, and it was also a two-door wagon. Well, it looks just like a Nomad, but actually it's not. The wheelbase on the Pontiac was 7 inches longer. Chevys had a 115-inch wheelbase. The Pontiacs had a 122-inch wheelbase. They actually stretched it in the front, so if you look at this front fender, these wheels look really far forward, and it's true, they are. So it's a Pontiac Safari wagon. Only 4,042 of these were made. How many do you think are left now? Definitely a lot more rare than a Chevy wagon. Pretty cool car. We're putting an LS3 in here and a Schwartz G-Machine chassis, which had to be made longer because of the wheelbase, and also Pontiac core supports wrap around the frame rails, so we had to make a different front section of the frame as well. So a little bit custom, but it's still a great product, and he's going to have a fun time driving this around. In previous updates we showed you a lime green 71 CUDA. Well, this is the chassis and the engine. It's a 6.4 liter from a 2016 Challenger SRT8, along with the giant automatic transmission behind it. We've got to do a few special mods to make this transmission fit our chassis. This one's getting air ride and independent suspension, so it should be a pretty fun car for the owner to drive, and when he cruises into the car shows he can totally drop it in the weeds with that air ride. Look what just showed up, a load of Optima batteries. Yellow Top spiral cell technology, great product. We use them in all our builds. This is the moment I've been waiting 12 years for, firing up my 67 Ford. Let's see what she does. Open headers, of course. We're going to be fabricating a cool exhaust system this week. This 68 Camaro is all wrapped up. By the time you see this, it should be cruising the streets of Minnesota. Pretty cool car. This LT1 engine from the new Camaro and Corvette, awesome torque. It feels like a giant big block. I can't tell you how much torque it is. Much improved over the LS3, I must add. Anyway, have a look. This 68 Vette wide body you may or may not have seen before. We wrapped it up last summer, and we did our Schwartz G-Machine wide body conversion on this, and it's got our G-Machine Corvette chassis. This one's got an LS7 fuel injected from the later model Z06 Corvette, and it's back to have a photo shoot for Vette magazine, so you should be able to see that online in a couple of months. We're going to do the shoot next week. Great car. I love driving this thing. Hey, I thought that 67 Ford Custom 500 was dark green. Well, the other one is. We actually have two of them. This one is a cream puff. 16,000 original miles. Everything's original on this car, including the inline six and the 3-in-the-tree transmission. Cruises down the road with amazing ease, 70 miles an hour, and you push the clutch in one more time and it automatically shifts into overdrive. How cool is that? Anyway, can't wait to see what we do with this one. We still got a bit of work to do here on this Model A depot hack. We've made our front apron to cover up that rack and pinion that we talked about last update, and we've been primering and sanding things. Got the bumpers mocked up here. Still planning on debuting this end of the month at Back to the 50s. The wood is all done and it's being refinished right now. The top is done, and I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching.